Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to let you in on a little trick of the trade, and a cool company, TMR Customs, has made a really awesome affordable tool to make this really simple for you to do at home or even out at an off-road event. Doesn't really matter where you are, that's how simple it is. So let's talk about the most common way that we're going to have to align a solid front axle vehicle, and let me show you the tool. Adjusting your toe on your vehicle is probably the most common alignment thing that you're going to have to do when you have a solid front axle. Your toe adjustment basically lets your tires determine how parallel they are to each other. And on any solid front axle vehicle, regardless of the tire size, you want them towed in just a touch.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second.
We're talking like an 1/8 to a 1/4 inch.
Just to see how it feels.
1/4 inch might even be a little bit heavy. Where that measurement changes is if you're running big tires. You're running something like a 37, a 40-inch tire or larger, you're gonna want it a 1/4 inch, not more than that. But that's because as you roll down the road, your tires and the rubber on those tires will actually wanna pull out, and then they'll be parallel. Works really well for extending your tire life in the front of your vehicle, but it's very simple to do. Most people don't know how to do it. So without further ado, let's check out the front of my Jeep while it's over here on jack stands, and I'll show you how to do it. Obviously, you can tell under here that I have a solid front axle. Now this axle's a Super Duty Dana 60 underneath my JKU Jeep. Now don't worry if you don't have a Super Duty Dana 60 or a Dana 60 at all, because all solid front axles actually are going to have these components, and they're very easy to align, especially when it comes to toe. Now you got a couple of bars in the front of this Jeep that actually on this solid axle that actually are very common. This top bar is going to be the one that basically connects your steering wheel to your passenger side knuckle or the passenger side wheel. And this beautiful aluminum Apex steering tie rod. Apex chassis aluminum tie rods are a solid 1.5 inch thick aluminum. They make them with Heim joint ends for the Super Duty 1-ton swap guys. They also make them with tie rod ends. They make them for lots of different heavy duty trucks, but 1.5 inch solid aluminum. Guys, you're not gonna bend it, and it's gonna bend back when you take it off road and hit some big rocks. But your tie rod is the bar that's gonna make that wheel do the same thing as this wheel when you turn it. That's also the bar that you're gonna have to adjust your toe. Your tie rod is responsible for that. If you make it longer, your tires will either go to parallel or even face out from each other. And if you make it a little bit shorter in the front, it'll wind up bringing them in. Oftentimes, that's the only thing that's out of alignment on a solid front axle. So it's really easy to adjust, and here's the tool to show you how to do it. Once your vehicle's on jack stands, you're gonna wanna use this tool from TMR Customs. This is their alignment plate. It's available on their website. And the nice thing about it is it's actually drilled out for different bolt patterns. So it really doesn't even matter what axle you're putting it on. But you're gonna find where it fits and secure it using your lug nuts to the bottom of your brake rotor. You're gonna wanna make sure your lug nut actually goes all the way in to hold this against your brake rotor. If it doesn't go all the way in, you'll have to do what I did and basically find a nut or something to bridge the difference. This nut is too big of a diameter for the stud, so it just slid over, and it wound up allowing me to tighten up this lug nut and keep pressure on there so it doesn't want to wobble around. But you're going to need it to be firmly attached, and after you attach one to each side, you want to make sure they're pretty much level with the ground. Then grab your tape measure, because it's time to adjust your alignment. One quick tip: after you have both of those brackets on your rotors, on your hub assemblies, and bolted and secured, again, you want to make them fairly level. Grab your tape measure, but you're also going to want to make sure that your steering stabilizer or hydraulic ram is disconnected from your tie rod, because most vehicles have a tie rod that's able to actually be turned, or at least a section of it can be turned to adjust the length, right? Make it longer or shorter. That's how you're going to adjust your toe. With this tool, we're going to stick our tape measure on one side, wind up bringing it straight across the front, using the edge of the metal bracket, measuring that distance. We're going to repeat the same thing on the back side of the axle, and just adjust your tie rod until the front is a 1/4 inch shorter than the rear. Our measurement is 77 3/4 in the front. And wow, look at that. I just installed that tie rod and we are only off by about 1/8 of an inch. So we'll shorten it up a little bit by turning that tie rod. It doesn't take a lot. Because remember, even if it's a 1/2 inch that you want to adjust it, that 1/2 inch, you're taking that 1/2 inch from both sides. So it's only a 1/4 inch of movement, right? It will give you a 1/2 inch. So guys, there you have it. TMR Customs, making it super easy to align the front of your vehicle, saving you a ton of cash by not wearing out your tires prematurely, even maybe improving your gas mileage a little bit. But let's be real, no one builds these vehicles to get good gas mileage. We build them to have some fun. Make sure you get over there, check it out. They got a lot of cool stuff on their website, including these alignment brackets. They're not expensive. They come in 2 colors as well as unfinished, like you saw me here with in this video. Anyway, guys, check out my other alignment videos, which explain, you know, pinion angle and caster angle and all those kinds of things. But again, typically once those are set, provided your suspension in your front end is actually not worn and maintained, you know, setting your toe is actually not all that hard. And guys, make sure you get out there and build something.